Well, hey folks, this is John with Ozarks Backroads with you. We got another nice day in the Ozarks, right at the end of January. The cold spell is broken for a few days. I thought I'd better get out and ride a little bit. I got some information I want to share with y'all, some upcoming events for 2025, and it's also New Bike Day. If you look back here, we've got a different motorcycle. I've traded off my Tiger, my Triumph Tiger, the 2019. I can't believe I did it. I really love that bike, but it was getting a little long in the tooth. I've been on it for 6 seasons on that Tiger, so I thought I might ought to trade it while it still has a little bit of value. It doesn't have a whole lot of value now, but the older they get, the less they're worth. So I went ahead and traded. I think I've found a worthy predecessor, hopefully, for the Tiger, something just a little bit lighter and easier to manage out on these dirt roads and along the creeks and whatnot here in the Ozarks. So we'll see how it works out. We'll take a ride on our new bike, take a look at it. I've also got an upcoming event here in 2025 that I wanted to schedule with y'all. It's going to be a meet and greet in Eminence, Missouri. It's the last weekend of June, the weekend before the 4th of July weekend. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I invite you all to come out. Anybody that wants to ride around the Eminence area, it is my favorite area in the Ozarks to ride in. It's really beautiful. I think it's probably the best that we have here. I hope you all show up. I've had several people comment they'd like to go for a ride with me right around in the Ozarks. I just don't have time to accommodate everyone. I'm still a working man. I have to work 5 days a week if I can, and it's hard to get out and do all these things, but we'll have a meet and greet. I'd like to meet everybody that wants to come out, and that'll be on, like I say, the last weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of June 2025 in Eminence, Missouri. I'll put some accommodations, some places where I've stayed down there, campgrounds and motels and cabins. In the comments below, you can check those out. There's plenty of accommodations there for folks in Eminence. It's kind of a little tourist spot right on the Jacks Fork River. Beautiful place. I invite you all to come and see me. Well, right now we'll take a look at this new ride that I've got, and we're going to go for a ride today. It should be beautiful. Ride along some creeks here in Douglas County, Missouri. So stick around. So here's our new Transalp, our Honda Transalp. It's a 750cc parallel twin, or a 750, maybe 755cc parallel twin. They're supposed to be pretty good all around, you know, jack of all trades kind of a motorcycle. I've already done quite a bit to this bike. I've had it a couple of weeks now. The bike comes pretty much stripped. It's just plain Jane. There's really nothing on it, no hand guards, no sump protection, no crash bars. I've got a top rack here, a Tusk plate bolted to it to set my stuff on there. I put some Tusk side case racks on it to mount my soft bags to. I like the soft bags. So those were good. I've got a Tusk belly pan under it right here. This is an excellent product. I was really impressed with how well that fit up real close and tight. Very heavy duty. Real heavy duty mounts to the frame on that. It's not mounted to the motor. And I was just impressed. This skid plate also has a nylon surface about 1/4 inch thick here for so you can slide over things if you hit rocks or if you want to jump a log. Not my forte, but some people might want to do that. These are the Tusk bars, the engine bars. They're also, the fit was perfect on those. Pretty heavy duty, all mounted to the frame. I put some bark buster hand guards on there, or control lever guards. Pretty heavy duty. And these are the ones that are specifically made for the Transalp. So they fit, they mount up out of the way. You don't have to move your controls or anything to mount them up. I've went ahead and changed the rear tire. I've got the Metis EO7 Plus. I love this tire. And my inner tube for my front tire, I've got an EO7 Plus for the front as well, but I don't have a tube for it yet. They haven't shipped it. So I'm on the stock Metzler on the front, and it's not really up to the challenge for what we're going to do today, but we'll just have to be careful and not get too crazy. It's got a little bit of tread. I'll be all right with that. All right, well, let's jump on and see how this thing does in the dirt roads and creek gravel and all that. I can already tell that it's much lighter. The center of gravity is a lot lower on this bike. It's also doesn't weigh as much as the Tiger. This is the first ride I've taken on this Transalp. The weather just has not been suitable to get out. I've got 9.7 miles on it. As far as I've been, I rode it on some 2-lane blacktop to get down here this morning. Pretty nice on the highway. And of course, everybody says this is a wonderful touring bike to travel on the highway. So that doesn't really surprise me. We got a little bit of a spring running out right here, it looks like, out into the road. Got a nice bluff right there. Ooh, that kind of had a slick spot in it right there. Kind of did a little shift. So we had a pretty good snow since I've been on this road. We had 5 or 6 inches here. Had ice and then snow on top of it. 5 or 6 inches of snow. Here's some ice on the road. Probably not a lot of sun gets right here. Ooh. This bike does not have cruise control. That's something I'm going to have to add. It's got throttle by wire and all the modes and stuff, but they didn't put cruise control on it. So I'll put a Veridian, I'm going to put a Veridian cruise control unit on here, electronic cruise control. And then I'll have cruise, and then I'm going to put the accessory heated grips that you work through you turn them on and off through the menu here. I just don't want I don't want a button or a panel here that, mounted to the bars for the grips. Yeah, they've had some flood damage on. We had a big flood, washed out a lot of bridges and culverts and roads. They've been working on this one. They got new culverts put in, so you can get through it. When I move my weight from one foot peg to the other, the bike just really quickly, it changes directions real quick. A lot quicker than the Tiger did. That's just because this bike has a lower center of gravity, less weight, and it has proper rake and trail. It's going to make it a lot more stable in gravel and sand. Man, this bike really does a good job on this. This would be much more difficult with the Tiger. And this loose gravel is kind of deep. When the front tire sinks into that on this, it doesn't try to turn my handlebars and cross the wheel up. Got ice on the road, can you believe that? These are places the sun just doesn't get. Got a hill up to the south here and trees. And sunlight's not much sunlight getting on the road to melt the ice. I could see this going bad. Ooh, that is ice. I did not expect that, folks. But we're on the north side of a hill here. Just not been enough sunlight to melt the ice. Let's see if we can get back across this little patch here without any major malfunctions. Looks like we might be in the government woods, possibly. Not sure. Kind of has that look. There's no fences or anything. I would also like to pass on a little bit of information that I've learned about tires and where to buy tires. I found a place on eBay, and they're down in North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe South Carolina. It's called OEM Cycles. I'll put a link there in the description below. Man, they've got the best prices on tires of anybody. They beat everybody considerably on tires. So if you're hunting for tires, definitely check them out. They'll probably save you quite a bit of money. I couldn't believe how much I saved. So this will take us to the creek, to Bryant Creek, and I looked at the satellite on the creek crossing, and there's no bridge, so we're probably not going to be able to get over the creek. We can go look at it. I don't know if the bridge got washed or if they just never had a bridge. Man, what a lovely day. You don't get to go for a ride in January in the Ozarks. That's really rare. In 3 days, it's supposed to be another nice day. I got a friend that's already wanting me to meet up with him and go for a ride on Saturday. He's ready to get out of the house too. He lives quite a ways away. It's going to be a load the bike up on a trailer kind of a situation for that. I guess this is still a road. It definitely turned into a goat trail real quick right there. Whoo-hoo. Going down to the river. Another nice thing about this bike is the seat height's a little lower than the Tiger. I can get my feet down a little easier. Let's go down here and look at the situation. The main creek's way over here. This is a tributary that's coming in to the creek. There was a bridge here once upon a time. Wow. Really cool. The bridge got washed out, and it looks like the bridge went over onto that hard rock section right there. Some rebar hanging out of the bridge concrete. The creek undermines, it scours out underneath the concrete, and then the water is pushing up on the concrete, and it'll just break, fracture it and break it and roll it out and wash it away. It'll be gone. All of this that was here is not here. It's down the creek somewhere. Pretty cool though. Yeah, that's a big old 18 to 24 inches of concrete, and it just ripped it out of there and carried it away. old bridge, pretty good, a thick, heavy bridge there got washed out at some point. I'm not sure when that happened. Let's see if we can get going. We're on a pretty good loose grade here. Oh yeah. Get up on the pegs and we got this whipped. The bike seems to be, first gear is not terribly high. It's decent. It's not dual sport low geared like an enduro or a dual sport, but for an adventure bike, it's pretty usable. And the motor seems to be pretty tractable. It doesn't want to stall, it wants to go. So I'm pretty happy with that. We can see where I slid coming down this in my tracks. So I think this bike's going to be just fine for the kind of stuff that I'm going to do with it. This kind of stuff right here is pretty much, you know, typically what I do when I go out. I think we're just crossing the same little, that's got moss on it. That rusty looking on the road, that's that red moss. It can throw you for a loop. This looks like it's been used. This bike's got the horn and the turn signal reversed. The horn, or the turn signal's below the horn. That's a Honda thing. I don't know why they do that. If we get across here, maybe there won't be any ice on this road. This is Bryant Creek right here. Howdy. Really pretty. Got a little water in the creek today. We might get a picture right here. Might as well. I'm gonna leave my key on. I don't want to have to reset that. All right, left my key on, so I'm still in off-road mode. Well, we've made it to Rockbridge, Missouri. It's a resort. It's on Spring Creek down here in a bottom, a beautiful area. And I can smell groceries. The restaurant is definitely open. There's the old mill. There was a mill here years and years ago. That's it. Used to grind corn and wheat and a grain mill. Yeah. There's the old bank from 1904, the Rockbridge Bank right here. That's pretty cool. It's still here. All right, let's see if we can get fed. Well, here's the little stream behind the mill. Goes over the mill dam right here. They built years ago. Pretty cool. This is called Spring Creek, and it's all spring fed. Here under the mill, you can see some of the original, they still got some of the original rock piers that the mill was built on back in the day. Here's another look at underneath the mill. Some of the old stonework that was done back in the day to hold this thing up. There's even a spring underneath the mill that comes out of a little bluff right underneath the mill. We'll go look at where it comes out here. Some of the underneath the mill, some of the old beams and stuff from Original construction. This all looks original underneath here. Big old beams under here. There's a chute where they would have dropped grain out down below here. Pretty sweet. Original rock work, and then right here is a little spring that comes out of a bluff. They just built the mill right on top of it. But you can see water flowing out here, runs right into the creek out here. That didn't bother them none. They even put some piers on top of the rock here where the spring runs out. That's pretty sweet. All right, well, we had dinner at the restaurant there at Rockbridge, the Rainbow Trout Ranch. That's also the post office. Rockbridge is actually a town. They've got their own post office, so it's the real McCoy. So we can continue on and ride up this little creek right here past the mill, and we'll go over to a little wide spot in the road called Souter, Missouri. Here we're crossing the creek again. It's got snow and ice in it, but not much in the way of water up here. I'd say we're about a mile above the dam, or up above the dam and the mill right here. Probably something like that. Wow, this is pretty cool country right in here. It's pretty nice. Anytime you get on a creek where you're following a waterway, boy, you don't want to run off of that. Whew. Anytime you get on a waterway following a creek or a stream here in the Ozarks, it's usually pretty darn nice. Well, we got a cow that's got on the wrong side of the little electric fence wire right there. Some of them good eating cows, them Black Angus. Them are my favorite kind. And then this is the proof that this is actually a town. There used to be a family of Souders that lived here. They lived in this house right here. It's now vacant, empty. And here's the old Souder General Store. It was here operating for a long time. It just recently closed. It hadn't been very many years since the store was open. We're back where we were earlier, the same creek. Bryant Creek. We pretty much spent the whole day on Bryant Creek in different places. Well, folks, I appreciate you spending some time with me. A beautiful day here in January, the last day of January. Here in the Ozarks, we don't get out and ride in January normally. Pretty special. We got to spend the day on our new brush beater back here, our 2024 Honda Transalp 750 there, our XL 750. We've traded off the Tiger, replaced it with the Transalp. I think the Transalp's going to be a worthy predecessor to the Tiger. It seems like it does really well on the sandy, gravel, rough stuff. I'm pretty pleased with it, and it's excellent on the highway from what I can tell. It's going to be a good bike to travel on. So we'll see how that goes in the future, but for now I'm pretty impressed with the Transalp. I want to remind everybody to come down and see me in June, the last weekend of June, June 27th, 8th, and 9th at Eminence, Missouri. We're going to have a meet and greet. A lot of people have commented they'd like to ride with me here in the Ozarks, so this is an opportunity to do that. If you can make it, it would be great. I'd love to meet everybody. We're going to be riding kind of like what we've ridden today is what you can expect there at Eminence. There's going to be dirt roads, some sand, and maybe some deep pockets of gravel here and there. But I think most people will be fine. A middleweight adventure bike should be excellent for that. I've ridden the Tiger through all of those places that we'll probably go many times, and it did just fine. I think I'll probably be on the Transalp on this weekend down there, so it's a middleweight as well. I will leave some information in the comments below the video here about lodging and some places that I've stayed there at Eminence that I can recommend if you want to come down. I hope everybody makes it. I'd love to meet everybody. Until I catch up with you again, you all take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.